Welcome to the final episode of Flywire Presents Make It Make Sense Fees, Finances, and Foreign Lands. In the last 5 episodes, we have covered everything that you need to know before going to your dream university. In this episode, we are going to look at what happens when you reach there. When I got into my dream school, I was like, this is my dream come true. What I didn't know is that it was a combination of a dream and some parts of a nightmare combined. But that's where growth comes from. Like all the expectations that people would put on me, right? What initially was motivation, it soon started turning into pressure, started turning into anxiety. I stopped seeing myself as a human being and I started seeing myself as an asset where there has been a financial and emotional investment. What will be the ROI? Will this pay off? All these questions rolling while you still have to figure out how to get the grades required to pass through whatever rigorous institution you are at. Well, to handle all these problems, I am here. Joining me today are two guests who have seen this phase from different lenses. First up, we have Arshia, who studied and is now working in Canada. This expectation versus reality, reality versus dream transition that we all talk about, she's in that transition right now. We also have Purvi Jadhav, clinical psychologist and emotional intelligence trainer. She has worked with families and individuals over the last 20 years to help them navigate difficult life transitions. Welcome to both of you here.
Thank you so much.
Very excited to learn. You have gotten into your university, right? Where did you get in?
Seneca College.
Okay. You got in. What is going on in your head? What's happening?
Okay, so before I took the flight, I had all these feelings. I was nervous, excited, scared, everything. But as soon as I got onto that 16-hour flight, I just shut myself off. And I switched on my favorite movie for the 1000th time, which is Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. And I thought that I would be living that bunny life in Canada and I would just explore and, but of course that did not happen.
Right.
But then I just slept for 12 hours straight and shut myself off completely. So until then, it was all good. But then 1st Jan 2023, that's when I went to my rental house and it hit me that I have to now live with 4 different girls, strangers. And that's when it was like, oh my God, this is so real now.
Right. And how did you deal with that?
To be very honest, I didn't. I have this switch in myself and I just switch it on and I shut myself off. I don't think about it. I don't overthink it. I just take it one step at a time.
Got it. Purvi,
So-
what? Yeah.
Yeah, so here I would like to add the real versus reality.
Yes.
When children are going, they have a lot of expectation. They see movie and they see that, okay, we will have this kind of life. But when children are moving, we are preparing them for how to take care of documentation, college preparation, visas, packing, unpacking, but no one is talking about this emotional transition.
Right.
And when you go in unfamiliar place where no smell of home, no familiar faces, and definitely you have missed your friends also because they are here or they are somewhere else.
Right.
And initially you start feeling good, excited, but little bit panicking also. So we call this as adjustment disorder response, where children feel that something is wrong with me. And I tell them, nothing is wrong. This is the phase everyone is having in their life when they are moving from their home country to another country. You will settle down, just give time to yourself. So it happens with parents as well as children.
Yeah.
Children more because they are away and completely alone and completely living independently.
Right. Aapka actually, your perspective is very interesting here because not only are you a therapist, आपका बेटा भी सिंगापुर में अभी
Yeah,
पढ़
yeah.
रहा है.
My son has joined Singapore Management University.
Right.
So when he was moving from here, we have also prepared all of this documentation and basically logistic.
Correct.
But then being a psychologist, I was talking about his feeling as well as my feelings too,
Yeah.
because it is, as a therapist, when you work and when you are seeing your child is moving the
course.
different things. So journey was really difficult, but I already planned my career accordingly, that how will I manage this vacuum, because I have increased my working hours, I have joined some business group
Right.
so that I can spend my day productively.
Correct.
And not to give him pressure that my mom is not okay.
So that's, you know, that on the other end you have family that is
Yeah.
stressed out. So when you were going through this difficult transition, how was that communication? How much did you talk to them?
To be very honest, I'm not the person who talks on video calls and phones. I'm just a text person. But because I moved to Canada, which is 10,000 kilometers away, so of course I had to talk to my parents. And we always talk about this side that students are facing this, and but parents also face a lot of difficulties. And of course, I haven't seen that because they don't show.
Of course.
But I have heard from my aunts and uncles and my grandparents that your mom is not really well and
Wow.
your dad is missing you. But of
Oh.
course, they have never told me.
Of course.
And I used to talk to them often during my first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And of course, almost every day. But then later on, I just stopped. And now I just talk to them twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah. But then there are people like my roommate, she would talk to her parents for like 2-3 hours straight every day.
Wow.
Oh.
You went friends with her or what?
No, she is my friend, but she is like, there are two types of families. Close knitted ones who talk to each other about everything. And then the ones who are not very expressive. Although my parents know everything about me, but I just feel I don't need to talk to them. They would just know that she's
Yeah.
there, she's doing this, she's doing that. My mom gets all my snaps, so she would know everything.
Gen Zs are very transparent if you gave them opportunity and if you understand their language.
Right.
Because they are very transparent, but they don't like to be judged and controlled all the
Correct,
time.
correct.
So accept them the way they are, and they will definitely come to you for help or for support.
Right.
Our communication is through Instagram Reels or through Snapchat and or through WhatsApp audio messages. That's all. We don't talk. I talk to my younger sister because
Right.
she's like 8 years younger to me, so I have to
I
counsel
have
her
to.
a little.
Here I have different perspectives. Sometimes parents and children don't feel like to communicate over call because they feel we might get emotional.
Yeah.
Because that phase is very vulnerable.
Right.
And children also try to send messages, okay, I'm good, I'm doing okay.
Correct.
But here is a struggle is they don't want to show their parents that I'm weak, okay, or
Right.
I'm not ready for this journey.
Uh-huh.
Including parents, they don't want to make them also worry, I'm crying every day. So to remove that emotional part from the communication,
Yeah.
you tend to switch to
Different
this
forms.
messages.
Right. One question I want to ask you. I just think there are a lot of variables that are factored in that decide what the outcome of your educational journey is going to be. So I just want to ask you whether any things that you didn't expect at all that took you by surprise in your educational journey.
So more than in my education journey, it was throughout because being in a foreign land, there are a lot of things that you don't expect. Like I had always known that I would have to do groceries, cooking, cleaning, everything. But I never expected that I had to do groceries in heaps of snow and walking in crazy winds where I felt like कि अब मैं उड़ जाऊंगी अगर मेरे पास वो 4 किलो का दूध का packet now.
Right.
And of course you have to do all this and then you have to study and then you have to work. So all these factors, they affect your studies.
Correct.
But of course you have to balance.
I'm sure this anxiety also takes a whole new level when after your education journey, you're trying to get a visa, a working visa, right? So did you go through that phase as well?
I did because I did a 2-year diploma and I did not transition into a 4-year degree.
Oh.
Because in 2023 all these visa changes were there and there were news that you wouldn't get your PGWP and you know some of these courses will not get PGWP. So at that moment I thought that the right way is to just get my PGWP right now, work for 3 years and then I can think about my degree later.
Right.
So that's what I did because there was so much uncertainty.
So you had to make this change
Yes.
just like out of nowhere.
Yes,
You couldn't have
yes.
prepared for it because you
Yes.
didn't know.
Because everything was fine until 2022. But, you know, in 2023 and 2024, it all changed.
What kind of growth happens when one goes through such excruciating, difficult situations?
Yeah, so most importantly, if we talk about finance, most of the Indian students are from middle class or upper middle class family, their parents must have invested their hard-earned money on their education, or they must have taken huge loan for the education. And when these children are going abroad, they are full focus on obligation of their parents, and every day they are talking and thinking about how to save money,
Yeah.
and they miss out many opportunity for going out with friends and lot of experiences which colleges are also offering. Students are slogging themselves,
You're correct.
and these children are always feeling guilty also.
One thing I wanted to talk about was isolation and exhaustion that happens there.
Yeah.
You know, you are lonely, you feel beaten down, you feel worn down. When that happened, did you shut off?
Yes,
Is that
I
what you do?
did. But in a foreign land, being lonely is very different. It's a different feeling. It's not like I'm in my room alone. Of course, you have a lot of people, you have your roommates, and that's compulsory to have. So they're always around. You have friends, you have classmates, you have all these people. But I feel there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect with people who I have grown up with in India, as well as with people who I am present with. I just felt that I don't belong anywhere. And I don't relate to anyone. And even till date, if I am in India, I would feel that I relate to my life in Toronto much more than I do to people here.
Right.
But when I will go back, I just feel कि ये मैं कहाँ आ गई हूँ? And I'm just somewhere in the middle. I'm an island without an anchor.
Right.
It's been 3 years, and I don't know when will I feel that sense of belongingness to anywhere.
Purvi, tell us about this identity disruption that happens where the way you see yourself, that changes, that shifts, right? Where are you from? मैं कहाँ से हूँ? What? How does that happen?
So generally when you are in unknown environment, so you feel scared and lost. And then immediately what is the response from your brain is to just start finding some people who are close by. So I always suggest that don't try to push or rush to escape from this feeling. Embrace it. Just spend time with yourself. And generally Indian students के साथ ही मैंने बहुत देखा है, they find their own community in other country also.
Yeah.
So here what happens that you are missing out to explore culture, new country, and then definitely you are not able to make connections, and the more you have connection, the more opportunities will open up for you.
Correct.
So this journey is normal for everyone. Children will get some 3 to 6 months to settle down, and they have to allow themselves to process it rather than start labeling them, I'm weak, I'm not, I don't deserve it, now what will I say to people, and start focusing on that how can I do just great in my academics.
Correct.
So that it's soothing your feeling
Right.
of not being connected with other people.
Yeah, and this, the way the identity is formed is also dictated a little by racism, right? Like, of course, here you exist as someone who has class privilege, caste privilege, all of those things. You go there, suddenly you are
There's nothing like that.
there's none of that at
Yeah.
all. Initially, my major at Columbia was going to be engineering or economics, and then eventually I did creative writing and English literature.
Okay.
So the shift from a STEM or like an econ degree to humanities was quite difficult because I realized that the way I see myself is also shaped by how others see me.
Yeah.
सब बोलते रहते ओ इंजीनियर मैथ साइंस में तुम अच्छे ही हो, मैथ साइंस में अच्छे ही हो, then I realized मैं नहीं हूँ अच्छा. This is just like pressure that I'm putting on myself. So how does one unlearn this, like these ideas about yourself that are harmful, where it's like a racialized gaze जिससे आपको देखते हैं? How do you unlearn this?
So basically, it's all about how you connect with people. The more you will go with this fixative mind that ये मुझे ऐसे देखता है, so again you will also start becoming alert.
Correct. Did you feel the freedom to be yourself? Do you feel the freedom to be yourself when you are there now? And how long has it taken for you to get this freedom or courage?
To be very honest, I've always been myself. As I said, I've had supportive parents, and I never had this fascination with freedom that I would go there and be someone else and I could do this and that. My parents knew everything.
Right.
So that's why when I went there, I was the same. But one thing I wanted to change about myself was I've always been this introverted person, socially anxious, awkward. So I thought I would change this about myself. And when I land in Canada, I'd be this extroverted person who's talking to everybody, is friends with everybody. But that did not happen. But I am a work in progress. That's why
Yeah.
I said yes to this podcast,
Right.
which I'm still shocked about that. How am I doing this?
Correct. No,
Yeah.
clearly this educational journey has helped you grow.
Yes.
But what is something that you wish you could go back and tell the Arsha who was getting into that flight from Amritsar? So let's go to the car on the way to the airport. What is something you wish you could have told yourself then to make your journey easier, more enriching?
First of all, I would say it's okay to feel things. That's very important. And secondly, I've always been very hard on myself that you have to do things right. And as she said, the pressure that your parents have spent so much on you, they've invested so much that you have to
Yeah.
bring out a good outcome. So I would just tell myself that it's okay. Chill. It's okay. You're just 19 years old and it is all fine. It will be all fine and life gets better. So you have to stop overthinking. You have to stop being this person who's always this panicky person who's like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have
Right.
to complete this. Just be chill.
That's very interesting. How did that transition happen? How did you become this evolved, mature person?
I think doing everything by yourself changes you a lot because in India everything just runs in the background. You don't have to do anything. You just sit on your bed, eat food, do something, come back, sit on your bed. That's it. But in Canada, you have to manage so many other things. You have to adjust with so many other people who's living in your room. So you have to be a calm person. You have to be chill. You have to talk to them. You have to understand them. So I think this evolves you. You grow a lot when you
Yeah.
see all these things, and that's what made me a. Actually, I'm not a calm person even right now, but I am better.
So this is a beautiful journey when children are aware about their strengths and weaknesses and explore it with those awareness and embrace it properly
Absolutely.
so that they can try to connect with other people. Even they can ask for support because they are aware that this is my weakness and I'm not able to complete it without somebody's support. So if 5 years ago, if Arsha would have come to me, I would have given her few tips about this journey. How can you make it more comfortable?
Yeah.
Don't be in hurry to settle down over
Yes.
there. I suggest that go start settling down with the environment, with understand your college and whatever the safe options are there. Generally, colleges are providing clubs. Based on your interest, you can go and join those clubs. And I will suggest every day you find 2 new people to communicate so that you understand that what kind of people around me and who can be my tribe. When children go there, they are very, very stressed when they see everything
Yeah.
around them is so unstructured and they have to structure it according to the environment.
Yes.
So I tell them that go for any or take up any kind of physical exercise, whether you can join any sports or you can start joining gym also, because
Yeah.
it will reduce your stress level and you will be able to manage the situation properly.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mention all these ways to combat stress because it felt like when I was studying, there was at one point I just couldn't escape it no matter what I did. Like this well of stress that I was in. And then I looked deeper and further. I would not like to do a job in economics. I'm just doing this because this is what is expected of me. So despite like what Western universities, the academic freedom that they provide, कि तुम major कभी भी change कर सकते हो. The main freedom I think that's required is like freedom from your own mind. So how does one fight this jungle of expectations and actually figure out what is it that they want to do? Question for both of you.
So most of the US university, you don't have to select your majors.
Correct.
You can explore various subjects, and
Right.
we all have to accept certain things in our life and find some different path for success. There is not only the one path.
Yeah.
You should always have plan B.
Absolutely.
And that is what I suggest for all my graduate students,
Yeah.
that please go there if you want to study there.
Yeah.
But always you should have plan
Yeah,
B.
yeah. So have multiple options, have multiple plans, unless you are deciding a service for your international fee payments. In that case, Flywire is the only option to take. Forget all other options. So like even from my experience and talking to everyone I know, even Arshia, a general trend we are seeing is that students tend to get overwhelmed when they are there. And the natural reaction for all emotionally unadjusted people who haven't processed their emotions, like me, is, and like Arshia also, is shutting down.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a psychologist, there must be better techniques to handle
Yes.
this than shutting
Yeah,
down.
yeah, absolutely. So first and most important thing, when children go from here, now at least parents are aware or children are aware that before moving from here, they would like to meet psychologists and how to process this.
Yeah.
Because this is very strong feeling, and same point of time you are dealing with many things.
Correct.
The independently you have to deal with everything, leaving your family, leaving your own country, leaving your own language. जब हम दिल्ली में या बॉम्बे में रहते हैं, जो हमारी बम्बईया हिंदी है, you will miss all of this thing over there. And then you are seeing a completely different country, different people. It is definitely overwhelming for students. So they come for the counseling. So every time we cannot be available, there's a time zone difference also. So I provide them some techniques where they can use for during this overwhelming situation,
Okay.
or to prevent them from that shutting down situation, where they can be able to process it and embrace those feelings. So I teach them a RAIN technique, RAIN.
RAIN, okay.
So R stands for recognize and name your feelings. So what are you feeling right now? You are sad, you are upset, you are lonely. Then A stands for accept it rather than fighting with it or being denial about it. Then comes I. So I stand for investigation. Find out why am I feeling in this way.
Right.
And the last is non-judgmental about yourself. You have to embrace this feeling that feelings are always fluid. You have to allow them to pass. This technique you can use again and again, so that even though during this shutting down situation, you will not feel depressed.
Right.
So this is a beautiful technique for students, and it really helps them.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I feel like I've learned so much from this conversation. I'm sure our students will say the same. Not only do we know that we are in the same boat, we also know that we can swim outside. We can
Yes.
jump and we can swim in the sea, and that's fine.
Yes. I would like to add one
Please.
more thing, that nowadays, because of internet and because of Instagram, before going from here to university, even students are making their own group. So you should definitely search those groups, because that make your journey easier. Because
Yeah.
before leaving from here, you know, even from your country, how many students are going.
Sure. I remember my college counselor in the beginning of my freshman year. She told me, Shreyas, I don't think econ is for you based on what we have talked. And I was like, how dare you question my intelligence? You think econ is not for me? Now I'll show you. And then I wasted an year and a half and took some classes that I shouldn't have. Principles of econ karke ek intro class rehta hai, which is supposed to be the easiest. I passed it on my third attempt easily. And then 2.5 years later, I was like, you were right. I should have just stick to English literature and creative writing. So, like, there are these ideas that you also have of yourself that get challenged when you are
Yes.
thrown in the waters like that. Also, like, when you are going through so many things in your head, like, there is definitely a lot of internal struggle and pressure inside, because you're just like, the payoff will be worth it, right? Everything that I'm going through, everything that my family is going through, all this money, this fluctuation, all this, what's the payoff? Not knowing what the payoff is going to be, that is extremely daunting, you know? Do you have any solutions for that? How does one tell themselves that it'll all be okay?
So most importantly, your first resource in abroad is your counselors.
Yeah.
Okay, immediately you can go and connect with them, you can ask them. So I advise students, yes, for time being you can challenge yourself that I want to give some time to myself for exploring this subject or taking up this challenge. So rather than spending or wasting a lot of time behind it, you have to take wise decision
Got it.
and go back to them after some days or some months. Okay, ma'am, I have tried this and it is not working. What should be the next step? So that will definitely help you to have a right path
Got it.
rather than just getting into the ego fight.
Got it, got it. So even if it's an uncharted territory, it's a terrain that you haven't seen, take the step. Even if it's the wrong step, you learn from that step, figure out the right step.
Yes, you have to give some time to yourself.
Correct.
And learning can never stop. In any age, any point of time, you can keep learning.
Yep. What's the difference between the image you project online and what's actually happening in your life?
I think social media is all about glamour and posting parties, aesthetic cafes, and all the good stuff. But that's only the 10%. It's true that happens in our lives, but the rest of the 90% of the stuff is that you cleaning, you cooking, you doing laundry, you're going out for groceries, you're house hunting, studying, and all of that. But of course, we don't show that online.
This has been incredible.
Thank you.
Again, I wish this was an episode that I saw before I went. My life could have been so much different and so much easier, so much smoother. But now we know not to shut down. So thank you for opening up our minds about what it is we should do to navigate
Yeah.
this journey.
Thank you so much.
course.
Thank you.
6 episodes, 6 conversations, countless insights. But the thing that we keep coming back to is that studying abroad is so many things and so many emotions. It is this cocktail, this amalgamation of joy, sorrow, fear, anxiety, upliftment, depression, optimism, and every other trait, adjective, quality that you can think of, emotion you can think of. It is all of this combined into one. So whether you feel that you are all alone, or whether you feel that this is the wrong decision, or you are too overconfident that this is the right decision, know that all those things are a part of the experience of studying abroad. And that's why we have this show, to give you a real insight, a look into what it actually takes to go out and study, and to tell you the things that college brochures won't tell you. Thank you to Flywire for making it possible. And lastly, thank you to our audience for spending their time with us. Best of luck to students and parents as they embark upon their study abroad journeys. Thank you.